streaky. New computer is on the docket. But anyway, hi everyone, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and welcome to the first Dye-Along live stream of 2020. Tonight we are going to dye some yarn inspired by this photo right here, the Northern Lights, Aurora Borealis. I thought it would just be fun to play with this bright green streaks that just mesmerize people, and I know are on the bucket list for a lot of us to see someday. And I thought that it would be really fun to translate these colors into some yarn. So that is what we're going to do today. But it's a dye-along, and some of you might be wondering how dye-alongs work. Basically, I am going to dye yarn probably a couple different colorways inspired by this photo. And I invite all of you to dye along based on this photo at home as well. And I'll pick some or a lot of your photos and include them in the recap for this live stream sometime in mid to late February. So you have about a month to dye yarn and submit your photos. You can submit your photos on Instagram by just using the hashtag ChemKnitsDyeAlong, which you can see on the screen right there. Or you can reply to this photo on the ChemKnits Facebook page. It should be the pinned post right now. Otherwise, you can go through the photos and add a photo comment to it, and that's basically it. It's always helpful for you guys to share with the community the type of dye and the yarn and things that you use. But I think that it's really helpful and educational for us to see how many different people can draw from one photo and create a lot of different beautiful colorways. Do you have to nail it and match the colors perfectly? No. The only requirement is that you are inspired by the photo. You can choose to look at this and dye some yarn inspired by the mountains. You can skip the sky altogether, or you can look at just the sky, or just that green sort of teal and purple. It's really, really up to you how literally you choose to translate the photo onto yarn or fiber. Yeah, I love when you guys also send me finished object photos as well. I think that's a lot of fun. So anyway, that's a little bit about the dye-along. And as for the December recap, that is coming. I finished, so normally the schedule is I do the dye-along live stream, finish the yarn, usually the next morning I finish washing the yarn because I'm usually tired. So I finish washing the yarn, hang it up to dry. When it's dry, I film the recap and then wait 3 weeks or so to insert your photos into it and export it. Well, with Hanukkah and the end of the year being so, there was a lot going on here on the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel, and a lot going on behind the scenes to get all that ready. So I just finished filming my part of the recap today. So I hope that at some point tomorrow I should be able to get that recap out. At the very least, I'll have it exported tomorrow. So that should be out tomorrow or Thursday at the latest. This is pretty late. I generally try to get the recap up before the next live stream, but yes, apologies for the delay. Let me see. Oh goodness. And I am behind on the chat, so welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Acrylic yarn is welcome. You do not need to use the same kind of dye types I use. Acrylic is harder to dye, but you can. And I actually will have a new acrylic dye video coming out next week? Soon, very, very soon. It's scheduled and ready to go. I just finished with all the annotations. Yes, the photos, people, I believe I have the source of the photo in the video description. At least I should. I hope I do, because I definitely meant to. And I don't see it on my little list right now. Oh, blending fiber for this is a great, those little streaks of color in the sky look just like you have a blending board. You could really create something like this. I don't think Paradise Fibers is watching, but Paradise Fibers, I know you guys could create this on your blending board. Yeah, oh my gosh. Next year, Hanukkah is at the beginning of December, and I think the year after that, it starts in November, which is hectic family-wise, but would be easier ChemKnits Hanukkah special-wise, because, I mean, it was wild in 2018 because like the kids would get home from school and then we'd have like a lot of stuff going on in the evenings, but it was like I was sort of working, like it was weird for like the kids to be off school during Hanukkah and then to have all this other stuff going on. So you're trying to find a Dyer Mojo watching. Ooh, it's late. All right. I'm gonna stand up and let's start thinking about what I'm going to do. We're going to start off just doing some swatching because I kind of want to finalize what I want to do with the colors, and I thought that would be helpful. But I'm going to make this smaller. I'm trying to have it up there for a reference. So once again, I can see just how off the colors on my webcam are, and sometimes I have it fixed. Sometimes it's just not. I'm disappointed with it right now. Oh, I want a blending board so badly, but you can see that it's a little hazy. So once again, I was doing some sketching. Oh, actually, that doesn't look so bad like that. Closer. I was doing some sketching with colored pencils this time, with some of the colors that I pulled from the image. And of course, sketching with colored pencils is not perfect. Uh-oh, can I? Hold on. There we go. Sketching with colored pencils isn't perfect because, say, I don't have colored pencil for a good midnight blue, but my rough thoughts from looking at the image are clearly we need some deep colors. So I was thinking like black, maybe a blue black or something like, as long as it's not turning brown, like a gunmetal. Then maybe a blue-gray for some hints. Then also, for the bright green, I was thinking maybe sour apple or radioactive, something in there. If I need to, I could go grab some more yellow. I didn't bring the yellow down though. There's a bit of a bluer green, which I thought about adding a little bit of Dharma Frozen to maybe some sour apple. And then there's some hints of some pinks and purples. And so I pulled a bunch of purples that I had mixed to sort of play around with. And so that's sort of my initial thought of colors. So, great question. A 1% stock solution is 1 gram of dye and 100 milliliters of liquid. And so almost all these stock solutions I have here on the table are 1% stock solutions. But my silver gray is actually a 2% stock solution. I think it is Dye Hut Weekly. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Oh, that's so bright. Dye Hut Weekly 117, I believe. I think my lights just got like a lot brighter recently. I think that's a little better. Yeah. Yes, but I do have a video on my, I do have a video of me making stock solutions. These ones are all, where are my gloves? These ones are all a bit older, but I really do like them. And these are ones that seem to hold up fairly well. Okay, if I were, here it is. So when you have everything right next to you, but it feels like you don't. Okay. I'm gonna put on gloves. So while I am at the stove, I can't really see the chat, but this is a live stream, so I am live doing this right now while you are watching. And so if you have any questions or comments, I am more than happy to try to answer them, but I will pop back over where I can see them periodically. Okay, so this is radioactive, which is pretty. Ooh, sort of like that little spread there. The spread is fairly yellow. And there's some green that doesn't spread as much. Oh, I should say the yarn right here is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering Weight yarn. And it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I put in 8 cups of water with, goodness, so in here I had 8 cups of water with, I think, 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. So you can see the colors are striking fairly quickly. Okay, so we had radioactive, and then we had sour apple. Here's frozen. You guys know how much I love this color. This is possibly my favorite blue. And right now I'm really just swatching on the yarns. That way it's an easy way to finalize what colors I want to use when I'm doing these projects. So here is some gunmetal, which I believe is a bit sort of like a navy, but it's a bit cooler toned. This, I guess it's jacquard gunmetal. And so Dharma Dark Navy feels a bit warmer in general to me. The dark navy looks a bit purple until it gets some heat, but it is a warmer blue than gunmetal. Here's just some jacquard brilliant blue, which I don't think I'm necessarily going to need, but it's sort of useful just to see everything. Now right here is a 2% stock solution of silver gray. And I'm sort of arranging all these. I'll take a picture of this and label it probably. So that's 2% stock solution of silver gray. So that was 2 grams of dye in 100 grams. Oops, and that came out of the lid a little bit. This is a 1% stock solution of true black. The silver gray and true black look very, very similar to one another. They speckle the same, just the true black is more concentrated. And I think, gosh, I think the silver gray, I forget exactly. In the math of yarn dyeing, I was like, oh, this is the concentration of true black that is sort of equivalent to a similar concentration of silver gray. So that is some information that I have out there. Okay, so let's do this is jacquard purple, which is a bit pinky. I think this is some jacquard periwinkle. Yeah, which is fairly blue. Jacquard violet. Oof, that is a good one. Although actually this purple is a little more that hint probably. Okay, now Dharma electric violet. Oh, that's good too. I initially thought that might be a good one. That's a fairly pink purple. I'm gonna have to write all this down. And then finally, one of the pinkest purples that I have is Purple Pop, which is definitely too much, but I figured I could mix Purple Pop in with one of the other purples if I needed to sort of zhuzh it up. Zhuzh, is that a word that I use? I don't think so. But yeah, so these were the colors that I initially pulled to play with. And I also wrote down some honorable mention colors that I don't have stocks of, but like spruce, forest green, and teal could have essentially come into play really nicely as well. But I just need to get, I wonder where my diary ended up. Wow, so it's a little blown out. was thinking of painting the picture on the yarn blank. Yes, I have a blank. I'm planning on playing with a yarn blank as well. I have one pre-soaking tonight. It's possible to overdye a highlighter yellow 100% wool with Kool-Aid. Oh, yes, you could use Kool-Aid. It does not have to be Woodland's gel like in that video. On my diary, so I can write this down. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, come on. Okay, so this is the pan. This is me. So here I've got true black. And then that is sorry, I'm just writing this down. And over here we've got it's 1, 21, 20, 20. Okay, so I have that written down, and I think looking at this, and I'm going to pull up the photo as well. So I've got the photo here, and I think, yeah, I think that I like the electric violet. Other purples you can hang back, but actually I'll probably use you on this one. Black and gray will probably both come into it. I think I kind of want both greens, maybe a little more sour apple, and I think I will do what I thought with the frozen and some of those greens. Maybe the gunmetal and the navy will come in. I don't think I need the blue. But that's sort of what I'm thinking right now. Let me just quickly glance. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the bubbling ones. Okay, I'm going to flip this yarn, and we're going to add some color to the other side and just sort of like a quick, I don't mind if there's a lot of white here. The color in here right now is fairly randomly placed, and that's sort of what I am going for. It's just random and fun, and so I'm not going to even necessarily go in that same order per se, but I'm just sort of adding. I don't want to go too heavy, but I'd like to spread some color throughout. And then especially with some of these tones that give us sort of a non-repeating kind of thing. Now I wish I should have done a little less acid, and actually the two yarns, I guess I popped it into the chat. But the yarns that I have on hand that I'm planning on playing with today are, so I've got more of this like 75-25 yarn, but then I've also got some capretta, which is I think 10% cashmere. There's definitely nylon in there as well. I'd have to double check. I have the label over here. The capretta, which is the non-superwash one, it's the older one, 80% fine merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And so that one should have more spread of colors. But I think my plans after I finish with playing around with this a little bit, is to go and play with this using, oh, I kind of like that. I think my plan is to do a blank using, you know, a similar fiber type first, and then we will do we'll do the blank first, and then move on to the capretta. But I have some ideas, and Purple Pop, just a little bit. There's a little bit on the spoon. I think this is a fun, if not loud, yarn. Purple Pop frightens me a little bit because I'm like afraid that, oh, I was going to move right now, but I realized I just added that Purple Pop. I think maybe another hint of a little frozen, like here. On my finger. There, I like it. It's feeling, it's hard to not just keep going, but I'm liking where this yarn is. So I'm going to give it 5 minutes, come and check the chat. And then we can set that yarn aside. Well, maybe I'll flip it first, but I'll flip it, then set it aside, and we can play. I do actually want to video. It's feeling very blown out still to me. Why am I not seeing this big? Wait, is this not doing anything? Controls that I have aren't oh my gosh, okay, I am trying to change the settings and it's not doing anything. So apologies, you guys. It's a little blown out and I do not know why. Like when I'm going into the camera controls, it's just like I'm moving the like bars around that usually like help me edit it. And it's not doing it. It's like showing up, but it's not showing up in the way that it normally does. So I'll have to troubleshoot that later. I love that in here. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm having a lot of fun. Even though, oh, I set a timer. And I was like about to go. I'm like, I want to flip, but it bums me out when it's blown out. But maybe I will go and add a photo to my story because I've got nice webcams and it just bugs me that the colors are so off. Let me share this. If I'm just at ChemKnits on Instagram, and I'll just add this to my story. It'll also go on my Facebook story as well. So you can see the like happy and bright, like okay, not that works. Like I could almost, yeah, it's way toned down. The lighting is rough. I could try, I mean, I can reduce. I guess maybe that helps a bit. I can reduce the amount of light I'm putting on it, but that shouldn't make a big difference. Oh, crocheting is nice. I want to be crocheting stuff, but yeah, I'm excited to try and play with this. What did I want? Okay. But yeah, while we're waiting for the timer to go up, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure your notifications are on so you never miss a new video. There are at least 2 new videos every single week on the ChemKnits Tutorials YouTube channel on Tuesday and Friday mornings at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. I know the time is weird, but I try to have it at a time when I know like I'll always be awake, and usually at home is what I aim for with video release. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, I started ChemKnits as just a vlog back, oh goodness, over 10 years ago while I was working on my PhD in biochemistry. So I do have a PhD, and I just enjoyed taking that sort of scientific approach to my yarn dyeing and trying things and tweaking things and really learning. And I think that if you go back and watch some of the early videos that I've done, you can really see how much I have grown as an artist, especially since I guess about 2.5 years ago or so, I decided to like really regularly try to post videos. And yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. Oh, you're moving. Well, the nice thing, and as I hide my or my face, the nice thing about these dialogues is you can go back and do old ones too. It's nice, and I sort of use them as just like an inspiration source. So this one is really more of like a hodgepodge colorway. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with it. This is pretty. I actually really, really like it. And I want my tongs, not a spoon. Rebecca, here they are. Today was a really good day. I got a lot of filming done. Sponsored episodes of Dye Pot Weekly, which I offer, and it includes like shout outs, and you get some of the yarn dyed in the video. They're currently sold out, but as like I finish up more videos, then I will release more. But this first yarn was really just a little sort of swatch, just to sort of get my feet wet and make sure I like the color selections that I thought that I would like. But I do want to mention that, you know, I can, it's not like I do when I say a throwaway skein, it's not that I'm throwing it away. But I know that I'm coming from a place of privilege when I can use a full skein of yarn for swatching and playing with the colors at the beginning, or use a yarn mop to help soak up extra dye. I know that those are like a luxury that I can do now that this is my full-time job and I have the shop. But when I got started, I would dye 3 to 5 grams of yarn in a video. And so in those really old yarn dyeing videos, I was using just tiny amounts to make the bare yarn I had stretch as far as possible. So that's something that I extremely recommend. Like, make yourself a test skein, absolutely, but have it, have your test skeins, yeah, you can break it up into minis and still get really awesome, nice results. Okay. So this is another skein of Stroll. I'm not adding more acid. We are using the same dye bath. But in addition to the Stroll, I have a platinum sock blank from Wool to Dye For that I am also bringing in here. And so I'm going for, this is a fun colorway, I think, to do on a blank. But I didn't want to do something super literal. I wanted to go a little abstract with it. And so that is sort of, well, that, I mean, not sort of, that is my plan for this first true wave. The one thing I'm not sure about is how I want to do this. Dr. Dye. Oh, Crystal, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh man, the summer was beautiful, but the purple, like the yarn just ate that purple color that I had. Okay, so let's start. Okay, it's really hard. Where's my phone? It's hard when I don't see. I like want to see the picture as I do this. Whoa. Yeah, the picture on Instagram just isn't like some of you sent me some messages like it just doesn't do the camera is not doing the colors justice. Okay, so I have the image pulled up on my phone and let's start. And again, I'm going abstract. You can see that we've got a full skein and a blank. I didn't want just the blank in the pan. I wanted it a little more crowded. But let's start with some green. And I'm using the spoon to help spread it out. When you can see we get some color penetration towards the bottom, but it's not perfect and it's not a lot. But now what I'm going to do with this radioactive is come in here just at this edge because I know that it has this more like yellow almost spread. And I wanted that other color to sort of sink in with that. I wanted to get some of that yellow as, not like a runoff, but I wanted to sort of feel that color. And I'm using just these 1% stock solutions. I'm going to go up a little bit higher right here. But this is pretty light. And I don't know if I'm going to do the same kind of thing on the other side, but let's go in. Rather than mixing the colors, that might be too much. Rather than mixing these colors on, like in a bottle, I'm mixing them on the yarn, if that makes sense. And so there are going to be some like folds and like waves within like that area there. Okay, so we're abstractly doing this. I do want a hint. Of course, I lost the image of some of the purple. Let's see, but I think. Okay, I think next one I'm going to start doing, and of course, my navy bottle is not. This is going to explode all over me. I can tell. I can tell. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I need something to open that a bit more. Aha. This is what I need. Whoa! Okay, everything's good. It was just the phone. Just the phone. Not any dye. Thank goodness. Okay. I need to pop that open. Okay, I think that there might just be something. Maybe just doesn't like me. Please do not squirt everywhere in a bad way. There, nope. See, each time I think I get it going, then it sort of stops on me. Definitely a bodily issue. not bodily, bottle. Okay, but I'm planning, maybe it's not bad and I can just sort of roll with it because I want to layer these hues on top of one another. And so it's not the worst thing in the world if you know, there's those different hues. Okay, that probably goes there. These, you and you. Let's go in. And then I'm layering on some silver gray. I think this will make, like, as we go, I'm hoping this will make more sense. I'm going to want to add some more liquid. I think that is definitely an issue that I'm having in here. Oh, but I kind of forgot. Okay, I'll do that over here. I didn't forget. It's intentional. Adding the purple down here at this edge. Anything can be intentional if you make it so. Okay. I want to add more water. Here is another, there we go. 6 cups of water. And you can see like the yarn just sort of float with that, right? Because things were getting too crowded, a bit too low. I want the colors to start being able to move beyond where I'm first, like, move beyond themselves, if that makes sense. Oh, maybe I am not your friend right now, or you are not my friend right now. See, if I squeeze too hard, it's going to come out around the threads. But what I don't want, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm unscrewing it. This is a little dangerous, but there we go. I'm going to unscrew it, pour some gently in, and then this is when I could really use like another pair of hands. And I'm nervous about pouring with my left. There we go. Okay. There is our navy. Oh dear. I wonder. There's just a hint of some green on that sky. And I'm not going in straight lines. I'm going for sort of some of that streak that I feel, and I'm making these motions, and I know you guys can't see me. Okay. I think I do want some more of this blue. It's gray down here as well. And it's not very hot when I go in with my fingers. Don't worry, I would not be touching if I thought it was too hot. What's funny right now is that the light level is fairly low. It's a little hard for me to see in person, but it looks better on camera now. Okay. There, this is more, I want the colors to be able to spread a bit, not a lot, but some. Okay, and I want another like hint of purple. All right, I have to make this brighter. I was like, I need to see what's happening in here. That like pop of purple in there. And the gunmetal, which still to this day, I am perplexed by what happened when the gunmetal went brown on me. I think it was like a heat thing. Okay, I'm liking what's happening right now. But I want to bring in okay. I'll take a picture of this one too and post it so that way you guys can see what I see. Let's see how it's looking. Hopefully I'm on the right. Yeah, so the colors again are not as the greens are definitely brighter in person. Okay. I sort of wish I was going at this with a paintbrush. I'm having a little bit of regret. Okay, this picture just went up on my stories as well. There's a bit of a light in the way, but just so you guys can see, let's see. Well, okay, so some questions I see right now. There was no explosion of color, but my navy keeps getting clogged with something, and so there's definitely a risk that it could explode on me, but oh, that light is horrible. I think it looks better. Okay, it looks better when I have the light lower. I don't know why it will not let me edit it. Laptop video. This is the one I want to edit. Why are you forsaking me? Configure video. Okay, so it'll let me zoom, which is not what I want. Okay. Hey! It's working again. Okay, that's a little better. It's working again. I can actually edit what I'm seeing. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so there was no explosion of color, but my navy bottle keeps getting a little clogged, and I'm afraid that if I were to squeeze the bottle to sort of like force the clog through, that it would then explode around the threads, and I'd get like a navy like of dye, and so don't want that. So I decided to go like for the spoon. Oh, I want a hue shift is like something I always have been wanting to do. Yeah, so it's sort of I've got just a very, very abstract way. It's got, and I don't think you can really see right now, especially because where I have, oh dear, where I have myself. But there is some purple in there and some green streaks. And so it's mainly, I'm going for the sky mostly. And so we've got the darkness of a night sky and then these green lights sort of coming through. So the yarn in here right now is, there's two things. There is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering Weight yarn, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And then of the same blend is a double-stranded sock blank by Dharma. No, double-stranded sock blank by Wool to Die For. That is the same fiber content, and I'm just dyeing side by side just because I kind of felt like playing with both. And in this, I had, I don't know about like a vision per se, but I had a sense of sort of what I wanted to do. I think it would have been, honestly, it might have worked better for me to dilute the colors into cups and then pour the cups on so there's like a bigger volume going on at once. But I think I was a little chicken. Or not chicken, but I might do, I also have some capretta soaking, so I might do that in a little. But yes. Am I going to add red, purple, or leave it at that? There actually is purple in there. It's just the camera, even with my fix, it does not, definitely does not pick up the purples. But if you look at my Instagram stories, you should see the purple that is there. And so last time when I'm like, the purple is there, and I've got pictures that prove the purple was there and that I added it. It's just not in the final yarn for whatever reason. But you'll be able to see some of the purple if you go look at my Instagram stories. Let's see, Trish. You've got a kid to try, but you knit a lot. So there are, I know that there's a lot of other Australians in the ChemKnits Lab Facebook group, and they sometimes, there's some threads in there about different suppliers from Australia and New Zealand area. I know shipping can be expensive. One big reason, so Knit Picks is not necessarily the cheapest place to get yarn. I love their yarn. It's what I was using just as a retail customer before I now buy like in bulk. I don't have like a special account or anything. And full disclosure, I am a Knit Picks affiliate. So when you guys click through one of my Knit Picks links, I do earn commission based on sales that I refer. But a big reason why I continue to use Knit Picks yarn a lot is that they are primarily a retail-based company, and so you can buy just one skein of their yarn. And if you want more, you can buy a 20 pack and get, like, I think usually it's about a 15% savings if you buy like in bulk. And that, to me, aligns with my goal of making yarn dyeing as accessible as possible to people. And so if, I don't know, and I also think that it's awesome whenever you can buy a true black or a true white along with a bare line. And so I like that they have commercially dyed versions and bare of the yarns that they also have as a bare option. So then you can really get whatever colors you want for the project. The purple looks black. So again, what's coming through like on the stream, there's mostly navy. There's just a tiny bit of purple in there, just sort of like some hints, because the purple in the sky is subtle. So I was sort of aiming for that. Not really. I think that it's maybe from me adjusting the camera. Maybe a tad, but no, the greens are still, it's not quite as neon as in the photo, definitely. But I think Yeah, I still see some of that bright green, and there's so much teal in the photo. So maybe it dimmed a tiny bit. But one thing, oh, I didn't even set a timer, which is goofy. Did I turn off the other camera? No. Hello. Sorry for my legs. Yeah, so there's definitely a neon. So the two greens I'm using are Radioactive, which is a fluorescent neon green, and Sour Apple, which is more of like a just bright medium green. And let's see. So what I don't know, oh nice. I don't really want to flip the blank, but I do want to flip this skein and see how we did. And add some color to this other side. But actually, the penetration so far is pretty good. But we'll have to see how this goes being next to. So the problem with that I have with Radioactive is that it looks like almost a dirty green at first. If that makes some sense. Yeah, so the Sour Apple would benefit. It is not quite bright enough. It's hard because if I want it to be concentrated, it's like a delicate kind of balance in here. And then I'm getting some of that teal color with Frozen, which is my favorite blue. And right now I'm mostly focusing on the full skein, but I don't mind if some of these colors move onto the blank as well. And so then the purple mostly was just down at the bottom, which again is something that shows up a bit more on Instagram. There. And I need some gray. And we're going to come in with some navy pours. The nice thing with a double-stranded sock blank is that when you open it up, it will unravel into two identical skeins, which I think is always a lot of fun. I know that some of the navy is definitely overpowering some of the green and stuff that I have in this segment. Okay, I want you to go that way. I'm really curious what the blank's going to look like. Oh dear. That went a little off the rails, but that's fine. Nothing I can't easily clean up. This is why I do cleaning and lots of cleaning and even more cleaning. Oh, okay. So I don't think this is quite what I was going for, but I'm not unhappy with it. I like all these different blues sort of working together to create the night sky, some of that reflection of the mountains. yeah, I'm not mad at it. I kind of like it. I think the green sections are a little wide. I sort of wish I could have them thinner, but I do have another, well, I have a couple other ideas. And maybe we'll talk and you guys can help me decide some of it. So my other idea with the other yarn is that I could do this in 2 stages and do some resist. And that is definitely way too bright, so it's not showing you guys. I need the light bright so I can see, but it looks a bit better. I promise it is brighter, a bit brighter in person, but okay, so my thought is I think what I want to do is do sort of these greens and purples and maybe some teals and just do like a full-on base of just those colors. And there could even be some pastels in there. Then I want to add resist over that and over dye it in sort of this dark color. So then we have sort of those like patches of color coming through. And it's okay if it's uneven or asymmetric in the yarn because that's sort of how the Northern Lights are. So I think that is my plan for the capretta. I just wanted to play with it first this way. Yes, it almost looks like a different dye job on Instagram. I am not sure. So like these Logitech cameras that I have are supposedly decent cameras. And with the same lighting, I can get the colors to show up really well on, say, like my DSLR, which unfortunately I can't stream from. And even like the cell phone does a decent job streaming, but I can't use that and then do multiple cameras. And so it's all, yeah, I'm not thrilled. I don't know if I need a different streaming software or honestly a better computer. So yeah. You're not dyeing your counter when you're yarn. Oh. Yeah, the Instagram is significantly brighter. Which, yeah, is why like I try to like post there because I'm like, no, you guys can't see what I can see. I promise. So, yeah, but gosh, there's some other like, so I've got some fun things in the work. I've been bummed. So like today I was writing the Patreon newsletter and putting up the early access video, which actually I will probably tease on Instagram tomorrow or so. So that way, if you want early access to the video, you just need to be a ChemKnits patron. The earliest level is just $1 a month, and you get access to the newsletter and the early access video. And at different levels of the Patreon, there are different other perks that you can get. Actually, maybe I will pull up a link. Link to the Patreon. Okay. And I just popped a link to the Patreon in chat. But yeah, so you get early access to new content, some behind the scenes sneak peeks, and things like that and more. But yeah, it's hard because there's some videos that I try really hard to not sneak peek or spoil. So like when one of you guys, like when a viewer sponsors a video, which I almost need another name besides sponsor because like sponsor has a meaning in terms of like advertisers and product placement and stuff. And so I don't know if like, I don't know what else to call it if there's something that's a better fit. So if you guys have suggestions, let me know. But I don't like to spoil, like give sneak peeks of videos that are sponsored necessarily because I want the video to still be a surprise for the person who sponsored it. And so, yeah, so that's something that like I try to like wait until maybe they've received the yarn from the video and stuff. And so, and lately, like the sponsorship slots have been selling out pretty quickly. And when I realized they sell out again, so, which is great. It just means that like I don't have as many like spoiler or like sneak peeks to share at the moment. But I hope to have some more soon. I'm slowly like building up my I worked on 3 new deck weeklies today, and so I'm building up what I've got to share more in the future. But yeah, there's some stuff that is so awesome that I cannot wait for you guys to see. Oh, your first live stream. Welcome, welcome. Chem assistant. Yeah, the spoke dye. Yeah, so the spoke, ooh, Chem assistant. Those are interesting. You do a wool applique at the thrift store and look for light colored wool skirts and use those to wet your hands and excess dye. Oh, cool. That's a good idea. That is a really good idea. Yeah. Patronage. The problem, I would do patronage, except that Patreon, it's like, I don't want to, like, things get confusing. Chem assistant, like, I'm gonna have to write that down. Do any of you guys send yourselves emails all the time? I am constantly sending myself emails. In fact, yeah, just to me, and then Chem. Yeah, I'm not sure entirely like if I'll change it, but I don't know. I really enjoy doing like the viewer sponsored videos. I just like, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and basically with those, people will tell me colors that they don't like. Sometimes people share like, oh, these are some of my favorite videos, which gives me a sense of the types of yarn that they might like, and I pull colors based on what I think the sponsor will like, and from the, I have a huge list of videos I want to create, and then I have some that are like ones that I want to do soon, and I find one that matches, because the sponsors pick the yarn base, and so I try to like pick and like mesh together things that I think will work well. And so yeah. You send yourself text messages sometimes. I didn't know I could do that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, I didn't even set a timer. Sometimes I'm bad when I'm like filming, but usually I'm much better about setting timers then. Okay, this is pretty good. I have to give myself more light though. The problem with doing the purple, actually I really like this, and the coverage is good. And the nice thing about this is that I am more than okay with pale patches. Except as I say that, as I like go and I check here at the tie, I am going to break that up a tiny bit, but I'm okay with some white patches because the picture has some white in it. And so, yeah, I don't mind that. And all right, I am very happy with this. Oh dear. Okay, well, if some color is going to come on here, then go on the yarn color. All right, let's do a timer for 10 minutes. There, reduce the color for you. And just as a little reminder, the first yarn we did, which is bright, I just did it kind of as almost a, it was very moppy, just sort of to play with the colors and get a sense of what I wanted to use. The nice thing about all this is that the colors I wanted to use aligned almost perfectly tonight with what I still wanted to use after I saw the swatching. That does not always happen. Sometimes I shift, but it's nice that I am starting to get a really good handle on my acid dye colors. And so I'll look at a picture and then the colors will sort of appear to me in my mind, if that makes sense. Ooh-wee. Oh, and there's no camera on right now. So then I'm like, wah! And then I'm like, oh, you guys can't see me. And my lovely hodgepodge outfit. ChemKnits champion. Oh, that's fun. Love partner. Yeah, but see, so one of the issues I have is how many different like areas that you can find me. So like there's the YouTube channel, which is the priority I think of everything. And then, you know, there's Instagram. And so frequently a good place to like DM me is on Instagram. Because for whatever reason, like with the Facebook Messenger changes, that used to be a good place, but now like I can't always reply to messages on my phone. So if I'm not near my computer, then I might not be able to reply, and it's annoying. I wish that like, and I know sometimes you can see Instagram things through like the Facebook, but on the desktop, I don't know. I just wish it would all sort of merge. But so then there's the ChemKnits Lab Facebook group, which is a wonderful place for asking questions, because even if I don't see things quickly, you guys can respond to questions for each other, which is amazing. And so it's a great community of people who want to learn and play with color, and for all other kinds of fiber art stuff. And so there's that, and then, you know, there's the Patreon, and there's the Etsy shop, and so it's just sort of like I've got this whole like world, and I need to make myself a central hub. And so that is something that I need to work on. But the thing with the website, and I like muse about this sometimes, is I need to figure out if there's two directions I could go with a central hub type website. Oh, and obviously I have ChemKnits.com, which is the blog, which is not as frequently updated as I would love, but I don't want to try to move that because like there's thousands and thousands of posts, and I don't want to risk breaking any image links or anything like that. But so yeah, so there's all that. But what I need to decide is, if I create the central hub website, do I want it to also be a shop? Like, do I want to move the shop from Etsy to a standalone shop? And that's what I don't know at this point. And so, yeah, that's something that is in my, okay, that is something that is in my, like, I don't know. I thought I had water. I don't know. Oh, I washed it over by the sink. Right, but so the issue that with Shopify, the issue that I have, and ultimately, if for a shop, I would probably want Shopify. But if I'm not going to move the shop onto the website, then Shopify isn't necessarily the best place. So that's the thing that's hard, is like, yeah, the best way to do all of this. And so I feel like I need a central hub, so that way, like, yeah, I just need to make a central hub. And I'm not, I mean, I think that maybe, I don't have plans to move the Etsy thing soon. I mean, there will reach a point when it will be more cost effective for me to move to Shopify, for example. But at the moment, it's like Shopify would, the amount of extra effort it would take to be on a standalone like shop off of Etsy would be harder. Or like, it's cost benefit analysis, makes sense to stick with Etsy for now. Yeah, so that's all the like website stuff going through my brain and the indecision. Oh, the owner sensibility patterns just went through the exact same thing. So yes, you can add, I know you can add a shop on Wix or Squarespace, and so like I'd be tempted, and maybe when I need to decide is my eventual plan is to make a website hub, which can be just a general like an easier about me, something that is cleaner than what the blog was, you know. Maybe I need to just purchase and have like a third domain in my back pocket, so that way, yeah, so that's what I need to think about. And the other issue that I have is that Shopify doesn't have a great integration for YouTube onto a website, and I'd like to somehow integrate like the YouTube, like, and embed like videos on the website. And so I don't know. Another project I really want to do is I want to make a database for a bunch of my videos, and I need to decide the categories, but certainly dye type, general technique, if it's part of a special category or series, maybe even could be something as more detailed as like yarn source, like where I bought the yarn from, and like some things like that. So that way it would be easier for people to find. And so I have some ideas of how I do that. It's be a big project, but I think that it's something that would be really, really helpful overall, especially for me sometimes when it comes to answering questions, because I think, do I have 800 videos maybe? I have a lot of videos. So anyway, that's all stuff that I'm thinking of, and I cannot read the timer from here. So yeah, I'm hanging it on the floor, but still going strong and still planning to play. Now, whether if I decide, I will let you guys know that I have been going to bed at like 8. And then I wake up at like 2 and I read for a couple hours. It's pretty bad. But yeah, that's been part of all the stuff lately. Yeah, I definitely should speak to a web designer about it. I think it's more of the issue that I have, and of course I keep coming and talking about this on stream, like musing and thinking, is that, you know, I need to make a decision, and once I make a decision, I can then go and try to either talk to someone or something. But I think it might make sense for me to do. Yeah, I think that it might make sense for me to do. Think about just having like a separate URL entirely if I'm going to do something shop based, because then it could just, because if you have a shop, but the shop is like a fraction of the website and the rest is like all this other stuff, I don't know. The special project is out of my control. It is coming. I don't know about timing, and I'm not pushing. I have one more invoice at the thing on the 1st of February. I'm going to re-push my last invoice, which was not yet paid. But then ultimately, I'm like 95% paid for the project, so I'm not like upset or anything like that. It was just things with the end of the year got like down to the wire, or not down to the wire. Things could have easily been missed, and yeah, the timeline for the special project is completely outside of my control, and so hopefully, like, initially it was supposed to be like October, so, and then it was going to be December, and then yeah, so now I have no idea. But I mean, I want everyone to see like the stuff that I did, but at least yeah, that's cool. At least I did get paid. So, because there's always like but yes, that's for what happened. It's I mean, I believe it's something that they still want to have happen. So hopeful. Don't worry. As soon as there's anything to know, I will let you guys know. And so I want to see. Yeah, the grains on here don't feel quite as bright as maybe I would have wanted. Let's spread you out. Let's maybe do. You can probably kind of see the reason why when I was doing this before, I did, I wanted it a little more crowded, but okay. Now, of course, I need to wait for that to absorb. But I think whether or not I get it done tonight or I do it tomorrow, Wednesdays are a good dyeing day for me. I do want to play with, I think I want to do a version of this with resist. So maybe I'll, sometimes if I don't get everything done in the stream, I'll film something for the recap. I really wanted to do that last month, but timing didn't work. I like it. I kind of like the yarn a little better than the blank, but we'll see when we open up the blank how I feel. I can't tell if the light's still on low or what. You went to your local college to talk to your computer class, and they're making you a website as a class project. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I definitely have resources with the college and stuff. And like, so my husband's a professor, and he's being like, you should hire someone to like help with these things. And I'm like, I need to have a concrete plan of what I want to hire someone to do in order for it to like be beneficial. Because to an extent, there's some elements of a website that I'm capable of myself. I have, well, I mean, I feel like I'm an old person now, but I do have some very, very rudimentary skills. I'm on my dated looking blog. That. Oh man. Yeah, but so we'll see. But yeah. I love this picture so much. I am so excited. And again, if you guys want to participate in the ChemKnits dye-along, it's really easy. Dye some yarn, blend some fiber, create something inspired by this photo, share it on Instagram with the hashtag ChemKnits dye-along, or reply to the inspiration photo on the ChemKnits Facebook page, and I'll pick a bunch and include them in the recap, which will come out sometime in mid-February. And again, the December recap, which is late, should come out tomorrow or Thursday, depending on how long it takes the video to export, which is one of the reasons why I need to get a new computer, so that way the editing can go faster. Because right now, like, I edit a video and then it could take several hours to export, which means that like it limits the number of videos that I can edit at any given time. And I know to an extent that can't be helped, but yeah, things have definitely gotten slower than they used to be. My poor baby. So yeah, but I think I did not set a timer, but I'm sort of just watching to see if that green is going to absorb. I'm like really debating how I want to do the rest. Okay, I think this is what we're gonna do. Hide me. Ow! I do not need more bruises. Okay, come on, guy. You can absorb. for real. Actually, I guess I don't care if you haven't all absorbed, as long as you're not gonna like bleed on me, because the yarn I put in can take some of that color and that'll be fine. So there's no question, I think that the blank that I created is really pretty. Does it nail what I wanted to achieve with the photo? That's what I'm not entirely sure about. Where is this yarn? Okay, so now coming in is the Knit Picks Capretta, which I'm not sure if it's even available anymore. So this pan, which is still heating, started off with, goodness, we started off with 8 cups of water, 3 tablespoons of white vinegar. We added another 6 cups of water. We've added yarn, removed yarn. So the acid is definitely going down, which is fine. But this yarn is not superwash right now, which is okay, but just something to keep in mind. And I do want to bring in more water. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dye the base, and then I'm going to do the resist and over dyeing films for the recap, because that way the yarn has time to cool, because I do want the yarn to cool completely for me to do like the resist stuff. And since I'm planning on over dyeing this, I do not need to have color all over all of the yarn, if that makes sense. It's okay if it's patchy, if there's white patches. And whoa, we're blown out. Okay. So I think that what happened with Capretta is that they now have Capretta Superwash. And so this is the old style Capretta. So yeah, and I think that you're right that talking with a professional. We actually one of my good friends is like, actually, he might actually be willing to help me as well. It would just, yeah, well, we'd see. But yeah, resist. Okay, so what I want to do, and you can see now that these colors are not striking as fast. We've got less acid. We also have a non-superwash yarn, which helps with that spread of color. Yeah, you can see the contrast of this color spreading and what we saw previously is pretty extreme. Ooh, I like that radioactive plus frozen combo. Actually, I might mix things up a bit. definitely will want to flip this. And oh, I suppose our water is less hot. So I just added a bunch. But I'm not sure how deeply these colors are penetrating at the moment. So there is that. This is more radioactive. Yeah, there's a lot of color in here right now that I probably should turn up the heat a tiny bit, but I need to let this sit. And I'm planning on doing some fairly big, chunky resists. So I want to use like zip ties and sort of tie it off in pieces. And the plan is to do each of the three slightly differently. At least that's my vision. A little more. And then I'll probably do like a blue and black kind of mixture. I think I'll add some more green up like to this as well. There isn't as good of a blue green at the moment, but let's wait like 10 minutes. And let's grab my phone and show you guys this a bit better on Instagram. The colors are definitely more muted right now. Oh wait, Capretta doesn't have that. What's in Capretta? Yeah, it's merino cashmere nylon. So the reason why I went with another direction first for this colorway versus going straight for this resist is that, gosh, there was like a rainy night colorway from a live stream that I did earlier in the year. And that kind of colorway and effect is sort of what is in my head and in my vision. I just try to do something a little different than what I do every other time. I don't know, I just try to mix things up. The purple, no, the colors that I'm using right now are Frozen, Electric Violet, Radioactive, and Sour Apple, all from Dharma. Excuse me. I need to refill this. Oh no, the colors are not in the description of this one. Capretta comes both in Still and Bare and Superwash. I'm pretty sure they're discontinuing the Bare because one of them has been constantly on sale for like the last couple of years. And like Capra. So who knows? I could have brought it back, but or you know, honestly, another possibility is that they were switching what mill they made it at. And so that's why they had like a stock that was goodbye and they could have brought it back, is another option. Yeah, so like on my monitor, the colors are coming through crap compared to what like I see in person. Electric Violet is definitely a favorite purple of mine. It looks like a Caribbean ocean. Oh yeah, like there's definitely elements of that. It's funny because whenever I look back at the picture of the inspiration photo, I was like, oh, the green is like less bright than some of what I've going. I don't really have the blue green in here, but I'm not super worried because since I'm gonna go with like a bluish black over it, then it might bring in some more elements of that. But we'll see in 10 minutes how much of this is absorbed. But thank you. So if you are just tuning in, what I'm working on now is a base color. a base color that has some of these greens, some of this purple. I'm going to try to work in a little more teal in there. And I'm then going to be adding resist and over dyeing this probably tomorrow, but I will film it so you guys will be able to like see what happens, and also then like post some pictures to Instagram before the recap comes out. Oh my gosh, I want to. Is it strange that I'm a dyer and I'm afraid to dye my hair? I have never ever dyed my hair before, and so the red was way brighter when I was little. It's definitely like a darker auburn. I mean, it's always been auburny, but it's definitely darker. Right now, it does not look like the red that it really is, but I promise I am a redhead. Don't ever say otherwise. The only brown is my name and my eye color. But yeah, I think, but my hair has always been like dark enough that it doesn't, there's enough red in it that like, using like an overtone like purple for brown hair would tone like basically combined with like the orangey tones in my hair would make it like a dark brown, which is not what I want, so it wouldn't really work well. I almost think like on some like doing like a pink could like be cool and like might show up, but yeah, I just don't want to have to bleach it, because the issue I have is if I could just dye my hair blue and purple and have that blue and purple be my hair color, awesome, let's do it. The problem is that the blue and purple then like, I don't want to be blonde, and so then there's just a lot of upkeep, and I'm very low maintenance when it comes to my hair. I'm not low maintenance on everything, but with my hair I usually just like spray like the salt spray in it, and then like helps right now like the way my hair is very slight wave, but the salt spray lets some of the waves hold in, helps with the poof otherwise, and that's it. So yeah, dyeing hair involves bleach, and it can be a process, yes. And so it's the bleach that frightens me. Less because, I mean, my hair is really healthy, so that's not the concern. It's more of just the permanence. So yeah. And yeah, and so yeah, the someday, but yeah, so the fade out colors and all that, it's stuff that I worry about, but so we'll see. But it's mainly like the expense and the upkeep are two things keeping me away from it. Like right now I probably cut my hair twice a year, and you know, and that's about it. Spot has really good purple. Yeah, I mean, like it, believe me, when someday I work up the courage and the nerve to dye my hair something, there will be a video. And I probably will not do it myself the first time because I'm going to be too scared. And yes, I don't think we want a video of me crying. Yeah, so, have I dyed yarn using hair dye? No. I actually spoke with a hairdresser about it, and well, I don't think she really so this is like my sister-in-law's friend, who's an amazing hairstylist, and honestly, if I was ready, I would have had her like bleach and dye my hair, but I decided I wasn't quite ready. But she, I like I tried to ask a little bit about like the mechanism of hair dyes, and the reason why I'm hesitant to do it on yarn, and this isn't something I have a great answer for, but one of the reasons why I'm hesitant is that a lot of hair dye definitely fades. Now, granted, you wash the hair on your head more, and it's exposed to more sunlight than, say, something that you knit, but it's a concern. And so I'm not sure if it would be different with heat or what, and so that's sort of something that like it's something I'd love to try. I've kind of avoided it because I'm just not sure how long it would last. I should try, yeah, I kind of want to try some hair chalk. I was like, that I could try. I mean, I've done like, like the colored hairspray for Halloween and stuff. That's about as I've done. So yeah, it's more, I don't know, and I'm sure like once I got started, I'd probably love it, and certainly like I could go wild. I mean, you guys would probably love it if I had wild colored hair. Like with my job as like playing with color, it would make sense for me to do it. I think I don't know, nervous because I've never done it, and I'm only 36 years young. I got time. Yeah, hair dye bleeds much longer than yarn dye seems to. Yeah, but also like when you dye yarn, or when you dye yarn with hair dye, when you dye your hair, you can't heat set it in the same way you could yarn. So I'm not sure how much of a difference that could make. But certainly, if I ever have a reason to purchase hair dye, probably have to try it out some yarn. Yeah, so there's things that like work great and like it could be fun. I know some people like to use hair dye. I've seen some people have used hair dyes on acrylic yarn, which sort of intrigues me a little bit, but I don't know. Like some people will dye their hair with Kool-Aid, which I kind of don't want to do. Oh, and we joke. So this is different, but so my dog Indy is a beautiful white dog, and we joke a lot about dyeing him. I'm definitely not going to dye my dog. Disclaimer: this is a joke, but we joke about dyeing him in green, so then we can have a GFP, green fluorescent puppy. Yeah. I mean, there are dog, like, pet-safe dyes, but I'm not interested in, ooh, there's definitely still color. Let's just peek. Oh, that's actually penetrating really well. Really well. Okay, let's give you... Zhuzh. There I go with zhuzh. I don't know why, if that's like the... What have I been watching that's putting this word in my head? See, if you have enough water in your immersion, dyeing non-superwashes, I should dye this more. I'm like in absolute love with this. Oh. I'm trying to help the colors penetrate, but I can also just focus on this side, so I'm not super worried. But let's do... Oh, come on. And I just noticed I'm not wearing gloves. That is a-okay. I really, really like that yellow is gonna... Okay, I kind of want to flip, but maybe I should wait. Let's wait another 5 minutes, and then I'll decide if I want to flip. Weird, that color looks so weird on here. The blue is frozen, and it is the best blue on the planet. it is so bright and, oh, okay, maybe that is fine. It's not looking so foreign. Nope. Okay. The blue is frozen. And if you look at the swatch card from Dyer Trading Company, it's like supposed to be like a pale blue. She is pigmented and bright and like the closest thing to a neon blue. I'm sure like if I used it more dilute, you could probably get the like soft blue that you see on the swatch card, but whew, I love it. Hopefully, oh goodness, I almost need to buy more frozen already. What I realized is hopefully like what I got wasn't like a fluke. So have I been to the southern states? I mean, I've visited. Like I've been to Atlanta. I lived in southern Indiana for 10 years, which it doesn't really count as a southern state, but that's like I mean, technically I was a Florida resident for a while, but it was mostly like while I was in college and my parents lived there and I didn't. But also like Florida, and debatable when some people consider it southern or not, because there's a lot of like New Englanders down there. But I mean, like I visited Texas and things. My in-laws are Texan. Keith is, I mean, from Massachusetts, but yeah, his parents are from Texas. So that's where our like enchiladas on Christmas Eve tradition comes from. Yeah, I'm really liking this, and I mean I'm liking this just as it is, but I'm really excited to add some deep elements to it. I just have to decide on like the depth of the deep color I want to do, but I'm excited and I'm really liking it. And for resist, my plan is to use zip ties, and yeah, I think it'll be really fun. I hope, and I think it'll fit really well. Swatch cards are dyed on silk, which makes a difference. Yeah, but some other colors show up really bright. So, yeah, I mean, I know yeah. So some other colors feel more true. Just that one feels the most difference, but it could definitely be like a silk thing. I am up late. Oh man. Oh, and tomorrow, oh funny, I'm like, oh, it's live now. Tomorrow I will be sharing a Jackpot PS episode, and oh my goodness, I cannot remember what I did in December. It's so hard to know sometimes, like what I've shared and what I haven't. I want to turn down the heat. That is really pretty. Yeah, it's really hard to tell. And you know, honestly, I'm going to turn off the heat and just leave it. I'm just going to leave this as is. I don't care how much or little penetration there is on the other side. I can focus all the resist on this one side and let the other side be dark, and that is fine. I think that is what I want. Because what I don't want is if there's some residual yellow, I don't want to force it onto, I don't want it to get forced onto the something. There was a thought there. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want it to get forced into like dim that purple or anything like that. So that is my thought. And the timer went off. Oh goodness. The number of times Rebecca forgets whether or not she has a timer on, and okay, I turned that light off. I'm I'm not sure when. I'm not sure if it'll be January, but I'm hoping, because it's been a while, I'm hoping to do one of those like choose your own adventure diathon kind of things again. I might revisit one of the old ones. We could do maybe like a poll for like patrons or something. And if I should do like random Wilton colors again, other food coloring, or what. But those are always fun. So zip ties are reusable ones. How long do they last? A long time. Occasionally, one might get, and especially if they're pulled tight for a resist, they might get a little brittle and eventually snap. And occasionally, again, depending on like how tight I guess I've been using the particular one, they might start to lose their ability to grip. But I think I've only had to throw away like a handful, and I first got a pack of 100, and so there's some that I've definitely used at least a dozen times. So they last a while. Am I going to show how I over dye? Yes. I will have that in the recap that will be up in mid-February. The reason why I'm not doing it right now is because I need this yarn to cool first before I add the resists. It is a non-superwash yarn, and so I don't want to risk felting it, is one big reason. And the other is that it's easier to manipulate once it is dry. Not dry. I'm going to be adding the resist while it's wet, but it'll be easier to manipulate once it's cool. And so I will do, I probably should have swapped the order I did some of these things. If I'd done this at the beginning of the stream, then I could have done the resist and added that. That part will be pretty quick. But that also will be easy for me to film and include in the recap for this video. Awesome. Yeah, there's a link to the zip ties definitely in the video description. My Amazon links are also affiliate links. But with Amazon stuff, I link to either the exact stuff I've purchased and used, or the closest that I can find that's similar. And so the zip tie listing are the exact ones that I ordered. I get the white ones. They look dark because they do absorb color, but I've heard the black ones on that same listing are slightly different, so I recommend the white ones. And it's nice actually because then like I don't know, the ones that are brand new I keep separately anyway. But all right, I am clearly turning into a pumpkin, even though it is definitely not midnight. But yeah, there's times when I'm like, oh, I should put myself to bed. But yeah, I'm hoping to do more impromptu live streams over the beginning of the year. Like the end of the year, I had so many like projects and videos going on that once I get like more of a buffer of scheduled content again, then there'll be more time for random play, and I'm excited. Again, die along at home and share it with me. Even if it's a past month, still share it with me. I'd love to see it. And yeah, thank you so much. Like, they've got so many links in the video description to like Etsy and Patreon and blah, blah, blah. But the biggest thing is just make sure you're subscribed, because honestly, the biggest way all of you guys support me is by subscribing, leaving comments, and engaging and interacting with these videos. That is the #1 most important thing. And I'm feeling really thankful. Like, I've gotten a lot more subscribers this month, like pretty much 4 times as many as usual. And I'm feeling really, really like thankful and not entirely sure where it's coming from. So if you guys have been sharing this with people in other groups and all kinds of stuff, thank you. Thank you for the growth. And I don't know, I'm really excited, and I truly, truly love doing this and love just playing and letting the colors speak to me like I do in these streams. So thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah. Okay, and again, yeah, I'll try to get that recap up tomorrow, last month's recap up like tomorrow. In general, I try to do it before the live stream, but December, oh gosh, so what, there were like 10 days at least of a video every single night, and some with like 2 videos. So yes, I may or may not have been editing up until like the 29th of December. But anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in, and I will chat with you guys soon. And hide my face and my cue. Wait, you two put me on the front page? That would have been awesome. I think that definitely has happened once. I would have seen a bigger like view. I'm coming back. If I was like full on the front page, I would have seen a much, like, there's been some like spikes, but there would like, I think I once had a tie-dye video that must have gone on the front page or something, because I had a massive spike of views once that like overwhelmed like all my other data for like that month. So yeah, but I'm not sure. Like maybe, I mean, I think they might be recommending me to more people, which means that that's because you guys are engaging and stuff. So it's awesome. So anyway, yeah. All right. Good night for semi-real. Bye, everyone. Oh. Yeah, no, because then I have to wait. There's like a 2-minute delay, and so I have to wait for. Oh, I gotta pull up the thing. I gotta wait to see what's happening for me. Oh, I'm not even current up with live. But yeah, I have to just wait and sort of see the live stream like cross. And so I use my face. Yeah, as a. Oh, and I should listen in here. Is this goodbye number 1 or goodbye number 2? Yeah, no, because then I have to wait. Okay, yeah, that was goodbye number 2. All right, goodbye for real.